Straight ahead on IU NewsNet, the total eclipse is days away from appearing across Bloomington and hundreds of thousands are coming to see it. We'll tell you everything you need to know to prepare for the moon blacking out the sun.
And we'll have the touching story of a father who is literally fighting his way through Parkinson's disease. We'll tell you how boxing has changed that fight.
Some students interrupt a controversial speaking event at the IMU and police escort them out. We'll have that, plus a late development in the case of the tenured professor suspended by IU. IU NewsNet starts now. Welcome to IU NewsNet. I'm Emma Herwehe.
And I'm Caroline Geib. It's almost here. On Monday, hundreds of thousands of people will converge in Bloomington to watch a cosmic event.
We are directly in the path of the total solar eclipse. You have questions, we have answers. Let's turn to our team of IU NewsNet reporters, beginning with Julia Pearl.
Thanks, Emma. That's right. I'm here at Switchyard Park, where today there's plenty of parking available. But as it gets closer and closer to the eclipse, these spots are going to fill up. So if you're like me and you have work downtown or you plan to travel to view the eclipse, you might want to consider leaving these at home. In the past, cities along the path of totality experienced extreme traffic delays and standstills, so walking might actually be the faster option depending on your plans. If you do plan on driving, there is parking near Switchyard Park, as well as garages on 4th, Walnut, and Morton Streets, and another garage in the Trades District. With these expected delays, officials recommend waiting for traffic to clear before getting on the road following the eclipse. Plan ahead, move slowly, and be patient. Kara has more information on how you can stay safe over the next few days. Kara?
Thanks, Julia. That's right. I'm right here on 10th Street, which come Monday, IUPD and IU Public Safety will have extra staff members to make sure pedestrians and traffic are all moving and to make sure things are just flowing to get into town on Monday. Additionally, there'll be 3 extra first aid stations and information stations around campus. There'll be one at McNutt, Wells Library, and one near Ernie Pyle Hall. David Baker Avenue will also be closed so emergency vehicles can get through faster and easier if necessary. IUPD also encourages students and visitors to call 1-855-603-7911 for non-emergency assistance and to text MOCO Eclipse to 226787 to opt in for free safety alerts. With over 300,000 people expected to be in Bloomington for the eclipse, IU Safety encourages students and visitors to be aware of their surroundings.
On the public safety side, we have IUPD, obviously the big partner in this, as well as some other security firms we're working with to make sure that we have folks stationed all around campus if people have questions or need help.
Amanda and her team said they are confident in their plans for Monday, and they urge all students to get out and go watch the eclipse, but of course, wear the correct eyeglasses for protection. And next, our Sarah Molina is out at Griffey Lake to give us a little bit more information on some of the best places in town to view the eclipse. Sarah?
Thanks, Kara. I'm here at Griffey Lake, which will be one of the main solar eclipse viewing places here in Bloomington on Monday. Here you'll be able to see the moon's shadow in the reflection of the water safely, but only during totality. At all other times, it's important to wear the protective eyeglasses that Kara mentioned, even if it's just to look at the sun's reflection in the water. We can also expect to see people gathering at Memorial Stadium, featuring singers and actors, and also at Switchyard Park, which will have food trucks, live music, and games for the day. And if you're over 21, you can view the eclipse from Butler and Oliver Winery, but if you're taking kids out to see it, check out Wonderlab's Museum or Ellettsville's Jiffy Treat, which will actually be at the epicenter of the eclipse in the middle of totality. Regardless of where you choose to view this celestial spectacle, it's important to remember to try to get there early and beat the crowd. Now back to you guys in the studio.
The Cosmic Celebration event at Memorial Stadium will bring Star Trek's William Shatner to Bloomington, along with singer Janelle Monáe, who will perform right after the eclipse. Gates open at 1 o'clock and student tickets range from $15 to $39.
What do you plan to wear to watch the eclipse? It's a question that actually has some science behind it.
IU NewsNet's Austin Platt is with us to explain. Austin?
Thanks, Emma and Caroline. As everyone prepares for the sky to darken on Monday afternoon, our eyes will play tricks on us, making us see certain colors more than others.
On Monday, you may have questions about the total solar eclipse, such as, where should I watch it? Or, how can I safely record it on my phone? But a question you may not have considered is what to wear. Why is that important, you may ask? It's all about the inner workings of our vision.
We have 3 different types of cone photoreceptors that are responsible for seeing different wavelengths. So shorter wavelengths are the blue colors, medium wavelengths are the greens, and the longer wavelengths are the reds.
During the eclipse, as the sky darkens and our eyes adjust, some colors become less vibrant and others more.
2 of the colors scientists suggest to wear are red and green, considering they have different wavelengths. That means an optimal viewing setting for the eclipse is right here at Memorial Stadium for the Hoosier Cosmic Celebration.
As the eclipse goes on, you're going to notice, wow, the field looks really bright, and boy, the grass looks great today. And it's just your eye is playing a little bit of a trick on you.
Dr. Kirkpatrick connects this to a certain piece of clothing that went viral in 2015.
If anybody remembers the controversy around the dress from many years ago, right? Was it blue or brown? It's how your eyes process colors given the surroundings.
While the color of the dress won't take the spotlight on Monday, the way we dress can impact our perspective of the eclipse.
Dr. Chung emphasizes that if you aren't wearing the right eclipse glasses, then you could experience temporary or permanent blurriness and changes to your vision. Caroline, Emma, hope you have your glasses handy, and back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Austin. We do have our glasses handy. I can barely see the camera, but as Austin mentioned, you may need to protect more than just your eyes.
You also need to protect this, your phone. And bear in mind that so many people will be using their phones at once that it may cause some temporary outages in cell phone service. IU NewsNet's Ari Betterly has some eclipse phone tips for us. Ari?
Thanks, guys. I'm here out front of the Kirkwood Observatory just days before the solar eclipse will hit Bloomington on April 8th. And experts are saying there's some things that you need to know before holding your phone lens up to the sun. Just like the sun will hurt your eyes, it will hurt your phone screen too. Due to the heat that's going to hit during total totality at 3 or 4 p.m., it could burn or damage your lens if you hold it up to the sun for that perfect Instagram photo. And if you want that social media post, there's something that you need to receive first. It's called Solar Snap, a filter that you can put on the lens of your camera in order to keep it safe and prevent damage to the lens during the solar eclipse.
I guess I don't really understand how that works, but that's kind of, now I know not to put my phone up to the sun. More people should know that. Because the first reaction I was gonna take a video. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Experts also say there may not be any cell power or Wi-Fi during the solar eclipse as well due to the overpowering population that's gonna be in Bloomington that day. So if you want that perfect photo, make sure you do it with caution. Back to you.
Cell phones aren't the only thing to handle with care during the eclipse. Animals might start acting strange as well. Experts say that some animals, like birds, might have their routine thrown off. And in this case, they say you are likely to hear the day to night to day confusion.
When it gets light again, as we pass totality and the sun comes back, animals might be, reacting as though it's a new day. Birds might start singing again, calling like they would early in the morning.
And since deer normally come out at night, there is a chance you might see more deer emerge in late afternoon. One thing that is not likely to change is your pets. Researchers say that your pets are more likely to notice your reaction to the eclipse than react to the darkness. Researchers also created an app called Solar Bird, where you are able to track and report birds' behavior during the eclipse.
There's a new development in a plane crash this week in Muncie. The pilot is from Bloomington and the plane took off from Bloomington. The incident happened Monday morning near the Delaware County Regional Airport. Emergency officials say the pilot never sent out a call for help before the crash and he had to be cut out of the wreckage. The pilot's condition is serious. The crash injured 3 people, including 2 who were out for a walk. The 2 people walking were burned by fire caused by the crash, and one of them remains in the hospital. When we come back, a faculty board says an IU administrator violated policy in her decision to suspend a tenured professor for the entire semester. We'll have the details.
Plus, the construction on Indiana Avenue doing more than just reducing available parking. Wait until you hear a worker in a nearby building describe the noise. Stay with us. The IU Faculty Board of Review says an IU administrator violated policy in suspending a tenured professor.
This is the professor who was disciplined for planning a pro-Palestinian event without permission to reserve the room. The Faculty Board of Review said Vice Provost for Academic Affairs Carrie Doherty overstepped in suspending Professor Abdelkader Sino for the semester. The board says Sino was denied his right to defend himself before a faculty misconduct review committee. The board stated that Doherty can still pursue sanctions on Sino, but only if the proper process is followed.
A peaceful sit-in turned into a heated exchange after some pro-Palestine IU students interrupted a controversial speaker event at the IMU this week, and it led to their removal. IU NewsNet's Kelsey Pease was there.
That's right. I'm here outside the Indiana Memorial Union, where bystanders witnessed 2 students being escorted out of the building in handcuffs. During the 5th week of Starbucks sit-ins hosted by the Palestine Solidarity Committee, members made their way to the Oak Room at the IMU to protest a speaker event organized by college Republicans at Indiana University.
Platforming genocide enablers once again. Platforming transphobes once again.
Kaya Rychik, the Libs of TikTok creator, and Jim Banks, U.S. Indiana representative, are the guest speakers.
Jim Banks has written letters specifically calling out PSC, accusing them of being anti-Semitic on very tenuous grounds. We believe that creating a climate where those people feel pressure not to come is important, and creating an environment that's conducive to, again, liberation.
At least 4 students have been forced out of the room after causing disruptions, 2 of which were further escorted out of the building in handcuffs. It has not been confirmed if all 4 students were members of the Palestine Solidarity Committee. That's all we have for now. Back to you.
The construction project on Indiana Avenue near Kirkwood is causing more than just a shortage of places to park. Just ask the people who work in the Von Lee building. IU NewsNet's Claire Tips did just that.
Thanks. I'm inside the Von Lee building within the IU Innovate Student Entrepreneurship Center. Just outside the building, I'm actually going to show you myself. You can see what is and what has been a major construction zone. The construction in the parking lot behind the Von Lee building started on February 5th and is a part of the Clear Creek Culvert Reconstruction Project. For the past month or so, the project has worked to improve stormwater drainage by replacing the limestone tunnel next to the building with a new concrete one. Students with IU Innovates have complained of being disrupted by the many sounds coming from the construction site. Sounds include frequent drilling into the ground that will even send vibrations through the building.
So especially on the side that I do a lot of my work, I spend probably 40 to 50 hours in the space a week. And yeah, the last few mornings have just been like...
As of Tuesday, March 26th, the drilling from the construction came into contact with an underground water system. The hole in the ground, which has been coined the Big Dig, has now filled with water. What this means for future construction plans and an end date to the project has yet to be determined. That is the situation as we know it. Now back to you.
An Indiana University freshman's Hollywood journey on American Idol has drawn to a close. 18-year-old Maggie Iyer from Carmel, Indiana, said getting a ticket to move on to Hollywood was a dream come true. But her journey ended there among the top 57 of all contestants. Maggie shared a heartfelt Instagram post writing, "My time on American Idol has come to an end, but this is just the beginning of my music career." In fact, you can see Iyer perform here in Bloomington at Hoosier Country Jam on April 15th, hosted at the Buzzkirk Chumley Theater.
April marks the start of Parkinson's Awareness Month, which recognizes the progressive disease that affects mobility in parts of the body and the nervous system. IU NewsNet's Audrey Marr has a personal connection through her father.
The signs were there. I saw some tremors, a change in his handwriting. He could barely turn his neck, but we weren't connecting the dots.
I was misdiagnosed at first with a lot of things related to my rigidity in my neck, and finally they started putting 1 + 1 together equals 2, and I realized I needed to go see a neurologist.
That was when he learned that he was in for the fight of his lifetime.
That's when I was diagnosed with Parkinson's in March of 2022, and when that happened, you kind of feel alone, like, oh my gosh, it's not catastrophic symptoms yet, but you're scared of what's going to happen down the road.
So he decided to put on the boxing gloves.
I mean, they're hitting us, and they're hitting hard.
and they're hitting back against Parkinson's disease, which makes its symptoms known through a reduced ability to produce dopamine in the brain.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
But Rock Steady Boxing is designed to help change the story.
I'm young and I'm active and I want to keep living, so I will, stay as active as I can and utilize Rock Steady as another way to stay connected with people as well as just stay fit and active.
Boxing is a sport where the primary focus is defending yourself against certain opponents. At Rock Steady Boxing, there is only one opponent, the disease itself.
We're fighting against Parkinson's, and that's what I love about Rock Steady Boxing is the opponent is fighting Parkinson's. It's not a real person, it's fighting that disease and beating it and don't taking it lying down.
And it's physical activity like this that helps carry the mental load.
Nice job.
Through this boxing and stuff, I feel strong and I feel like I can handle it.
With no known cure as of yet, activities like Rock Steady Boxing helps in slowing the progression and gaining a community.
It's a big family. It's a support group.
A family and support group that walks alongside each other in the fight of a lifetime.
You just got to work with Parkinson's, you got to work with cancer, you got to work with whatever it is and make the best of it, and I think that's what Rock Steady helps them to do. 1, 2, 3, Rock Steady! Happy Easter! Go Hoosier!
For IU NewsNet, I'm Audrey Marr.
Rock Steady boxing classes are also offered here in Bloomington. Classes run Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 10:30 to 2:30 with IU Health.
Kelsey Dennehy is up next with IU NewsNet Sports, including baseball, swim and dive, and of course, basketball.
And Mackenzie Holmes has wrapped up her final season as an Indiana Hoosier. We'll tell you about her winning mentality that will impact Indiana basketball for years to come. IU NewsNet Sports coming up next. Well, Caroline, the school year is starting to wind down, but Indiana athletics is certainly not.
That's right. Kelsey Dennehy joins us with news from the world of sports. Kelsey?
Thanks, guys. The women's basketball season came to an end last week to the South Carolina Gamecocks in a 22-point comeback that fell just 4 points short, 78-74. The Hoosiers were fighting for more than just a spot in the Elite Eight, though, for more time with their fearless leader, Mackenzie Holmes. I have more on Holmes and the legacy she leaves behind at Indiana.
147. The number of games Mackenzie Holmes wore number 54 for the Indiana Hoosiers. But her impact on her team and her community measures larger than any number.
She's all the right things, and I think anytime her teammates see her getting excited, getting fired up, in those timeouts, I think that they all get excited with her because they understand and realize how much it means to Mac.
Coming here, I didn't think we would be as close as we are today, but I can say she's a sister more than a best friend.
The Maine native did not start out this way, though, which makes her success at Indiana that much more rewarding for not only her coaches and her teammates, but herself.
Accomplishments aside, I've met, friends that have turned into family here at IU, people that I'll have with me for the rest of my life, and I think that's the greatest accomplishment of all, is the experiences, the moments, and the people that I've spent 5 years here with.
Holmes' great leadership does not come without her great ability. Mackenzie Holmes passed Tyra Buss in a game against the Purdue Boilermakers for the title of all-time leading scorer in program history. Holmes finished her career at Indiana with 2,530 points.
Mackenzie is an exceptional player, and she's somebody that I get to see every day, but her talent, she's an All-American. She amazes me every time I step on the court with her.
She has matured while she's been here. She's become tougher while she's been here. And it's because of all the different challenges that she's had to go through. And
it is this winning mentality that will stay with Indiana basketball players for years to come.
The way that we can honor Mackenzie, the way we can honor Grace, the way we can honor the Allie Patbergs that have been in our program is by doing exactly what they do. And they show up and they do more than what's required. And that's part of the recipe for us.
Holmes will play her last game as a Hoosier this weekend in Cleveland for the NCAA All-Stars alongside fifth-year Sarah Scalia. Back to March Madness, but after being left out, Indiana State makes their mark in the NIT tournament, advancing to the championships. In a semi-home game, the Sycamores hosted Utah on Tuesday in the historic Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. The game was close, with a halftime score of 44-all. However, thanks to Ryan Conwell with 27 points and Robbie Avila adding 26 of his own, Indiana State was able to take this one away in the second half, 100-90. They will now set their sights on the NIT title game against Seton Hall tonight, back in Hinkle at 7 p.m. While Indiana State basketball had a big win last night, it was not the same for Indiana State baseball, who came to Bloomington for a midweek matchup. After a tough couple of weekend series, Indiana baseball got a much-needed top 25 Tuesday evening win. Despite going down 6-0 in the top of the fourth, Tyler Cerny got the Hoosiers back in the game with a grand slam to tie. After being in a hitting drought the past couple of games, Josh Pine kept the scoring going when he hit a 2-run homer to secure the Hoosiers' lead.
When you go make a lineup, you have to make a lineup based on some of the numbers. But Josh will be okay. He'll get back in there, and he'll, like he did tonight. It's a great teammate, great competitor, put some good swings on it, and he'll get back in there and do that.
The Hoosiers head up to College Park to take on Big Ten defending champs Maryland in a 3-game weekend series. And for the second year in a row, Indiana men's swim and dive collected a 4th-place finish at the NCAA Championships. The team posted quite a performance with 43 All-American honors and 3 individual champions. With the best ever Indiana scores at NCAAs, Carson Tyler repeated as the platform diving champion, while also adding a gold and bronze finish. In the swimming category, 5th-year Brendan Burns headed the pack with a back-to-back top finish in the 100-yard backstroke. Burns ended his career as a 3-time NCAA champion, 4-time runner-up, and 25-time All-American. Coach Drew Johansson scored the CSCAA Men's Diving Coach of the Year for a second straight time. And that'll wrap up IU NewsNet Sports for this week. I'm Kelsey Dennehy. Caroline and Emma, back to you.
Thanks, Kelsey. One more thing before we say goodbye. If you spent any time in Franklin Hall, you've encountered Darla Crawford at the front desk in the Commons.
She's a legend around here. IU NewsNet's Riley Woodall has the story of how and why Darla makes the building a much brighter place.
Hundreds of Indiana students enter the media school every day, swept up with schoolwork, projects, and their personal lives. But in the midst of busy schedules, they walk right past a resource and a friend hiding in plain sight.
This is what I enjoy doing.
Darla Crawford has worked at Indiana for 15 years and says her passion and love for the job comes from the students she meets.
That's what keeps me going. I love kind of taking care of everybody, not being a grandma, but being a cool aunt. And I like people. I like to help people. I like to interact with people.
She's one of the first people that the students see when they come in the building, so having that energy and that kind of demeanor, I think is valuable.
And for some, Darla does much more than make their day.
It's so nice having a friend that I know is always going to be there. She's always willing to listen. I'm getting teary-eyed because she's such a good friend to me. Like, honestly, she never acts like what I'm saying is unimportant, and it makes me feel special that someone cares about me that's in the building.
In today's world, it's easy for students to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of day-to-day life. But Darla serves as an important reminder to connect with people and to always be present.
Take the time, and I think that's just kind of a life lesson after COVID. You know, everybody gets to the point where you forgot how to interact with people, and Darla's a good place to start.
Enjoy it. Try to, I know it's hard to do, but try to, because this is the best years of your life. I know you're going to be grown up and all with the jobs, but try to enjoy it here, because what a beautiful place to be at.
A message for everyone. Stop and look around every once in a while, because if you don't, you might miss something life-changing, or at least something that'll make you smile.
Well, I sure love seeing Darla every single day in the media school.
She's never failed to put a smile on my face.
And that's it for IU NewsNet for now. We have a behind-the-scenes student production team in the control room and working in the studio for this broadcast. We thank them and we thank you for watching. I'm Emma Herwehe.
And I'm Caroline Geib. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at IU NewsNet. Take care, and we'll see you next week.